Good morning, everyone. Luke, good morning to you and congratulations. As we were talking, I said, I just saw you ring the bell live from the Nasdaq this morning.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a super exciting day here for everybody.
And help me, how do I pronounce your last name? So I don't get it wrong.
Schoenfelder.
Schoenfelder. Okay,
Yeah.
There we go. So we are joined today by Luke Schoenfelder, Latch CEO, and you just went public via SPAC this morning.
Yep.
Big moment. Did you imagine you'd get here now, post-pandemic, in the middle of the pandemic at all? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, I mean, I think we always knew that we wanted to build an independent company. And I think that this was kind of the ultimate expression of that. Now, if you would have told me that we'd go public in the middle of a global pandemic, fully remote, I don't think that would have been something I would have guessed 7 years ago. But you know, it's been a long time. We started 7 years ago around my kitchen table. I cashed out my 401k to start Latch, and it's amazing to sit here today and ring the bell at Nasdaq.
So many people are becoming more and more familiar with smart locks, but tell us a little bit about Latch. I know that you guys have sort of seen this really explosion of growth, but not necessarily a consumer product, right? You're more in the back end.
That's
Property
right.
developers use you guys. So tell us what's different.
Yeah, so the way that our products work, we think about the whole building as our environment. And so we build products that make the building better for managers and for residents. And so when you move in, so a customer of Latch will purchase our products, our software product, our flagship product, software product is Latch OS. They'll purchase devices from us as well. And then once it gets set up, it makes the building more efficient and more profitable. But then once the resident moves in, the resident downloads the Latch app and they're able to share access with guests, unlock every door with their phone, and have a whole host of services kind of at their disposal. And so we become a consumer product once you move into a rental apartment. And there's 47 million rental apartments in the United States and 47 million rental units in the United States. And we serve that entire market.
So the rental market, but what about some of the other products we're familiar with, like Ring and also products from Google? If you have a single family home, can you buy Latch?
No, so we only sell to dense groups of users, which have historically been in apartment buildings, but now we've also announced that we're expanding to commercial office, but we don't serve the consumer market. It's an enterprise sale. And then when you move into a building or you move to a building that has Latch installed, you're able to use it and become a Latch user, but you don't buy it directly from Latch.
Right. And one thing that I found really interesting about your product is we tend to think of smart locks as the hardware, but you guys are actually developing your own software as well, Latch OS, right? And
That's
so
right.
You are already vertically integrated. Tell us about the benefits and also some of the challenges of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from the beginning, we've seen ourselves as a software company that also makes devices to, enable that software experience. And, a lot of the team, including myself, previously worked at Apple. And we believe that you can create an amazing user experience by, tightly coupling software, hardware, and then creating this open ecosystem for all sorts of partners. Companies like Google Nest, Ecobee, Honeywell are all companies that we work with and partner with as part of Latch OS.
What about Amazon? I'm sure you're aware of this, but tomorrow Amazon launches its Sidewalk product, which basically uses bits of neighborhoods bandwidth, your own bandwidth, to create a more wider spread network in case your smart garage lights go off or you lose your keys, that has sort of a tracker on it. Are you guys integrated?
So we don't have any comment to make about that today, but what I would say is that I'm an Amazon user myself, and I think what they're doing is super interesting. I think time will tell if users are excited about being part of a sort of community mesh network, but technologically it's super interesting.
Is that something, though, that separate from Amazon, that Latch is thinking of? You have this huge network now, you're in rental units, you're going into commercial buildings. Is that something that you're looking at and creating this sort of mesh network?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way that our products work, your phone is able to update all of the devices in the network in your building. And so, we have a version of that for our own products as well. And because we have so many densely concentrated users, we get many of the same sort of advantages in our own ecosystem, which is really cool.
So I also cover Airbnb, Luke, and I follow them very closely. And I know that obviously they're looking these days a little bit like a rental, property management as their stays get longer. So I wonder, are you talking to Brian Chesky or any of the executives over there about using Latch for their units, whether that be vacation rentals or things that look more like rental units?
I can't comment on sort of current conversations, but what I can say is that we have an incredible amount of units on our platform that are being listed on Airbnb and VRBO, and using our technology every day to facilitate that experience. And if you look at where our units are most densely concentrated, they're in the markets where home sharing platforms have the most supply constraints. And so it's been really helpful to be able to add additional supply through our technology and just make it easier for everybody, whether you're a host or you're a guest or you're a property manager.
And do you think as we see home sharing stays become longer and longer, do you think that they present perhaps a threat to the traditional property management industry?
Look, there's a lot of rental units out there, and I think there will be folks that create new models. I do think there's this sort of interesting flex space, which you're describing, where I think that for many, knowledge economy workers, the idea of working in one place 12 months a year just isn't that appealing anymore. And I think you're going to see people, want to be somewhere, not in a hotel, but stay somewhere for a month or 2 months a year and work from there as well. And I think home sharing platforms are uniquely positioned. And I think real estate operators that understand that change are also really well positioned as well.
How are you thinking about it for your staff? I know that you're in New York City now. Are you asking everyone to come back? How are you looking at the future of work?
Yeah, we're taking a hybrid approach for sure. We'll absolutely have some folks that are based in a specific geography. Our engineering folks, when we have to make physical products, being together is important. Having that community for the whole team is important. But I don't think we're ever going back to everybody's sitting at a desk 9 to 5 every day. I think the future is hybrid, and I think we're a testament to that. We've released our most important products, grown faster than probably any time in our history, and gone public pretty much completely remotely in the middle of a global pandemic. So, I think we've proven that it's possible, and we would love to give our employees that continued flexibility.
Right. Now, the way you're going public via SPAC, talk a little bit about that process, why you chose the sponsor that you did. You said that you looked at about 10 different prospective candidates and settled on Tishman's Bear.
That's right. Yeah. So, what we were most excited about was we're a very values focused company. And what we saw in the Tishman Speyer team, who was an existing customer, and I know Rob Speyer for several years, was real alignment of values and long-term thinking. And we saw the opportunity to have a 1 + 1 = 3 situation where they could speed our ability to deliver new product experiences into commercial office or Europe markets where they have decades of experience. And so for us, it was just a natural fit. And we were able to work together to pull together an incredible group of institutional investors as well. And we're very excited about our future and all the new things that we'll get to ship and deliver for our customers.
You said at the beginning of our conversation that you always sort of envisioned this moment. You wanted to remain an independent company. Have you fielded offers from sort of bigger companies, maybe big tech or other prop tech companies?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this was not the only path, but for us, it was the path that made the most sense. And we were very excited to have this opportunity to serve our customers as a public company and give the public an opportunity to participate in our growth. So we have such a broad set of stakeholders because of our resident base and our customer base, and so this was a really unique opportunity to align everybody's incentives. And so we're very excited to be public and to serve the market in this way.
And how are you thinking about future products? I know you guys started with locks, but everyone wants to be a platform these days. And it feels like, especially the software that you're building, could apply to smart cameras and other products.
At our core, we're a product development company. More than 50% of our employees, even today, are engineers. And so we have a host of exciting new products, and I just can't wait to get them in folks' hands.
Can you give us a clue? What might we expect?
I can't today, but I'll be very excited to share as soon as we're today's about listing and really getting to celebrate this moment. But we'll have more to share soon.
Okay, we'll bring you back on for that. And Luke, last question for you. I know sort of there's always this trade-off. I cover the startup world very closely between growth and profitability. You guys are not profitable yet. How are you thinking about that? Are you guys in growth investment mode? How are you thinking about getting to profits?
Look, we think it's really important to demonstrate to our shareholders that we can be profitable. But I think right now we're in this once in a lifetime shift from analog to digital and how buildings are operated, and so we're really focused on growth and making sure that we're able to serve our customers and solve their problems holistically. And we feel like over time we'll certainly be able to deliver profits. But for right now, the growth opportunity in front of us and the capital and runway we have to execute and the mandate we have from our shareholders is to grow. And we're very excited to grow.
And since you operate in the commercial building space, how do you see, I know you described this future of hybrid work, but there's many that think that, a lot of companies tell us that they're thinking about it in a similar way. They may not need as big of a real estate footprint. How does that affect your business when you're going into a lot of these high density commercial areas?
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think the way that people are going to use spaces is different. I don't know that it translates to less space, but it's definitely different space. But what I would say is that in that hybrid world where you have employees that are maybe spending time between a few different locations or going in a few days a week, having software like ours to manage the flow of users and times and locations is essential. And with Latch ID, which we announced about 2 weeks ago, you have one account that is able to work at your apartment building, at your office, and actually serve as an identity so you can skip the visitor check-in process at another building that you try to visit. And we're really building that sort of single sign-on platform for physical space. And it's a really unique opportunity as the endpoints and offices come back online this year.
Right. So perhaps a unique opportunity for you guys as well.
Absolutely. Everyone's trying to figure it out. And so it's a really unique time to offer a solution in that space.
Okay, well, Luke, thank you so much for chatting with us. Congratulations on the big milestone. And I hope to interview in person next time, either in San Francisco or New York when I'm there.
That will be perfect. Thank you so much for having me today.
Okay, take care.